This is something I've been eagerly anticipating, and even with the light rain, I've already got my first piece. Looks like a big Riverton point here. That'd be Merrim Trimble cluster, terminal late archaic. These are usually not much bigger than an inch, inch and a half. This is probably 1 3/4, 2 inches, so it's a big Riverton. But I'm gonna pick it up now, my first point of the day. Not sure of the chert type, but hopefully that's one of many more to come, especially when it rains again. About 30 feet off the county road. I'm glad I checked here because laying just right on top. I got a big old knife. Yep, probably early woodland the way it's made. 3.5 incher probably. Alright, it's April 30th. I'm going to do a quick cleanup video of sorts from what I've hunted this morning. I'm sitting here in the shade of the John Deere. I would be hunting the Ohio River. I've waited all year. Water's been high and it's been terrible conditions, and this week it's dropped. It's kind of ironic. In my last video I was saying you never know how long you'll be able to do this or what's going to happen, and I felt fortunate and blessed. Well, the very next day I ended up passing out and I woke up bashing my head off the concrete sidewalk behind our house. So I am not allowed to drive or do anything yet. They did EKGs and blood work. Everything's excellent. My EKG was great. My blood work's excellent. But now they're worried about a concussion because I get dizzy every time I move my head a certain way, and I have a lot of pain in the back of my head and neck. So I'm not cleared to drive or do anything. So hopefully, you know, people like Mud Stompers, Outdoor Retiree, River Rat Artifacts, and the IRS are down there finding Chief Smoke'em, are down there finding the good stuff on the Ohio that I can't right now. But you know, you got to count your blessings. You know, story when my dad was dying of cancer, some of his friends tell they were visiting with him and he was kind of sitting in his chair. They thought he was asleep and they were all grumbling about their jobs. One of them's a conservation officer and he's saying, you know, I got to wear this bulletproof vest and it's hot out, and I got to do all this paperwork, and I got to spend my time, you know, breaking up fights at the campground between drunks instead of actually protecting the resources. Another guy has a company that does security. He said, you know, I need to hire 3 or 4 more people. We've got this big project coming up. I don't know, I can't get, you know, people to show up. I need 2 or 3 more guys. The other guy has a trucking company, and he said, you know, the brakes are out on one of my trucks and the transmission's out on the other, and my mechanic's on sick leave for a month. I don't know what I'm going to do. And they said about that time my dad raised his head up and opened his eyes and said, I wish I could go to work tomorrow. And he shut his eyes and laid his head back down, and they said they just kind of sat there silent, you know, because it was made them realize no matter how bad you think you've got it, somebody else has it worse. So I'm counting my blessings. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, I mean, I could have been dead last week. I know that's like a common theme. I've had a bunch of crazy stuff in the past year in these videos. It's happened to me, but you know, I could have been dead. I could be in a hospital. I'm not even supposed to be out walking like I am right now, but come on, you know, you're not going to keep me down when there's a hand turned like this. It is keeping me off the boat and keeping me from traveling, but I'm out here and I'm just blessed to have this. I'm on a sunny day and I'm still alive, and I found a few things. So this was just a few feet from the road. It's a big early woodland knife out of fossiliferous chert. It's a little bit of a stack on that side, but it's still a nice big piece, you know. So I was happy to find that. Got an early woodland stemmed point base out of the same material. Here's a base off, I'm guessing, also some type of woodland piece. And this is made out of Holland chert, which is, like I've said before, the Indiana version of Flint Ridge. See, it's got that orange and blue in there, just like Flint Ridge. And then I got a Riverton Merrim Trimble terminal late archaic point. This is out of Stanford chert. It's just named after a town just outside of Bloomington, Indiana, in Monroe County, where it outcrops, but it also outcrops in several other counties. Just a bit of the tip has gone off this Riverton. So considering the conditions are not good, it hasn't had any rain on it, and I didn't even get to walk any of the good parts because I didn't want to disturb Pete out there during his turkey hunt. So I'm happy, and hopefully by next week I'll be able to hit some of my better sites. And if it rains, hey, this 150 acres, if we get a 2 or 3 inch rain, I'll pull 20 or 30 whole points out of this. It's May 1st, 2024, and against my doctor's orders, I'm still in concussion protocol. I decided I had to get out and hunt. So there's not too much to look at. Everything's silted up high, but there's just a little bit down by the water, and I've got me one. Not sure what or how good it is yet, but it's Wyandotte chert. Looks like something early, maybe a stem kirk. And I'm gonna let you watch me pull it. Oh, sweet. Oh man, I'm glad I came down today. That is a classic stem kirk. Serrated, it's got that flaking just like the pine trees. Ground base, slightly concave. That was definitely worth disobeying the doctor and driving down here. Been here like 10 minutes, that is awesome. May 1st, it's just about sunset, and we thought we'd hit one last site. And it looks like I might have me a point here, maybe a bifurcate, or else something broken, or maybe nothing at all, but it sure looks like a point. Let's see. Oh, sweet McCorkle bifurcate. Oh my. It's like the other one I found, that Kirk stem. They're not very big, but they are fine, well made, early archaic, super thin. Definitely worth getting down here. Wow. All right, I'm gonna do my May 1st, 2024 cleanup video. I wasn't supposed to be doing anything until I got a CAT scan, but the insurance originally denied it. Then my doctors told them mistakenly that I'd already had the CAT scan. Anyway, this stuff's gone on for a week. It's been a week since I cracked my head, and I said, to heck with it, I'm going. So I went, and we didn't get out until after 5 this evening, so we only had a couple hours to hunt, but I'm glad we went. We found a few nice things, so I'm going to just go over them real quickly. Some I got on video, some I didn't. Here is a base off a low flared base point. This would be middle woodland point. This would have come after the Snyder's point. And when you look at it, you have the Snyder's would be earlier in the middle woodland period, and then towards the end of the middle woodland period, you get the low flared base stuff. Then this is probably like a chisel or something. This is Wyandotte chert because it's pretty thick, but the flaking on it is really well done. It's not like somebody that couldn't thin a biface. They purposefully made this piece as thick as they did. Unfortunately, it snapped, but I'm getting they're all glistening because I just washed them. This may be nothing, but it's a piece of banded slate, and it sure is shaped like it could be part of a banner stone, but there's no way of saying it is or isn't because the part where the hole's at is not there, and it's just not real obvious whether it was shaped or not. I mean, it was on a site, and banded slate obviously does not come out in that area. It's been carried into that site, but whether it was actually a finished tool like a banner or something, it's hard to say, but I picked it up. Just a nice piece of chert. It's been worked down one edge, just like a big edge knife or something, derby chert. Then the two nice points I found. The first one I found was this Kirk stemmed. This is an early archaic point, and the base is ground. It's got that concave stemmed base, but it also has the shoulders on it. And it is serrated, and it has a nice bevel to it. I don't know if this can pick this up in this poor lighting or not, but it is beveled. And has some really, really nice flaking on it. So this was just a really nice little point. This was probably an atlatl dart point. You know, a lot of the big stuff that you find, early archaic, the dovetails, the Stillwells, the Lost Lakes, the Thebes, a lot of those were probably knives, and some of them might have actually been spear points, but they were using atlatls too, so the atlatl darts were probably your bifurcate points and your little Kirk stems and things like that. And speaking of bifurcate points, I also found this is a site where I never found anything before. But I just lucked into this nice McCorkle bifurcate. Again, the base is ground. It's really, really thin, as McCorkles usually are, and has some nice flaking on it. So, you know, about the same, you know, both early archaic, similar time period to this Kirk. So I got me, they're not big, but I got me two really nice, thin, well-made early archaic points, and I got a few neat broken things. And for just a 2-hour hunt, when I've been cooped up for a week, I thought that was pretty good.